Okay, so a bit of an update before I start the vlog. As you guys have probably noticed, I haven't uploaded videos in a while. This is because I've been on vacation. I was away and wanted to relax, enjoy myself, and now I back home, have a bit more time before I go back to college. And among the many things I'm going to do is I'm going to try and record more videos. So one of which is I'm behind on the Rebels vlogs, and I want to continue those along with the Powerpuff Girls vlogs. Don't worry, I'm gonna record more of those while I'm here. But I also wanted to touch on the Rebels vlogs just because I have a bit of a unique opinion on that show, and I want to continue it. So without further ado, let's get to Blood Sisters. Now, going into the season, Filoni said we were gonna learn more about Sabine, and all the characters, but that they were all going to get their due, they were all going to get their moment of the sun, and this week is Sabine. And Sabine is a character who has been in major need of character development. She's probably the most bland and useless member of the group, and honestly, I feel like you could just write her out at some point. So I was hopeful when this episode came out that it would give us more about Sabine. And while we do learn more about Sabine, it's we don't really get a sense of her character. Again, we know what she is, but not who she is. So in this episode, Sabine and Ezra are on a job, and Sabine runs into this old bounty hunter from her old Mandalorian clan, and they get into a bit of a scruff, and then the Empire shows up and they make up. And again, it's one of those ideas I feel like could have benefited from more time, because it was handled very clunkily. Anytime, and the AV Club article addresses this, but whenever they're talking to each other, it's always an exposition. You are of the Mandalorian clan. You betrayed me, and you don't need to do that. I mean, I'd like to just see them talk, and we sort of get their history, that they have a history just for the way they talk to each other, not because they explicitly say what their backstories are. Like, I think of The Force Awakens, when Han's talking to Kylo Ren. You get that history. They never go into the details of what happened, what their life was like, but just through the simple interactions, we get it. Or even on Adventure Time, when Marceline and Bubblegum are talking to each other in the new episode of Season 7. You got their past relationship. This without it being explicitly said. And I also feel that the writers are confusing backstory with character development. Simply learning where someone came from doesn't make them more interesting. Like, again, learning Sabine's a Mandalorian doesn't make her interesting. Backstory only works if it helps us understand why a character is the way it is. Telling us Sabine is a Mandalorian doesn't really flesh out her character. By contrast, learning Kanan's experience of Order 66 is important because it helps us understand why he's not so inclined to mistrust Rex. But yeah, that's one problem. Another big problem I had with this episode is that it just felt rushed. Like, it needed more time to establish character. It needed more time to have a relationship. If you want to have Sabine and her blood sister reconcile, that's fine, but there's not enough time to establish them and have them turn around. Because the turnaround is really quick. Like, literally, Empire shows up and they're best friends. And I'm like, no, like, it shouldn't be that quick a turnaround. It's one thing to have them just team up out of the alliance of convenience, but that's not what they were doing here. What they were doing here was their team up was just because the plot needed them to team up. And again, I feel like, kind of like how the clones got a bit more time way back in the beginning of Season 2, I feel like this is another episode where it needed a bit more time. And again, AV Club touches on this, but yeah, like, that turnaround was too quick. And maybe with a two-part episode, they could have had the turnaround be a bit more gradual. Sure. But within the 20-minute gap, there's not enough time to do what you need to do. Or even a smaller change. Like, maybe they learn to accept each other or something. But just a full 360, 180. You can't do that in one episode. I didn't hate the episode entirely. There were some stuff I liked. I liked the new Mandalorian character. She feels like the kind of gruff Mandalorian we're familiar with from Clone Wars as opposed to the spray painting Sabine. I like seeing the ship that Sabine's sister drives. If you don't know, that ship was originally designed for Asajj Ventress in the Clone Wars. There was this arc with her which was adapted into a brilliant novel called Dark Disciple, and that's where the ship was originally going to be used. So I guess in the interest of saving time on assets, they just reuse the ship here. And it's cool to see it, although anytime they're inside that ship, I just keep thinking of the scenes from Dark Disciple playing out. And also Chopper disabling the weapons was kind of cute. So again, I didn't hate the episode, but it was like kind of a bit of a disappointment. The next episode, though, was much better, and I'll talk about that tomorrow. So, Blood Sisters, did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment below and let me know. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe. And if you want to see more videos, you can subscribe to me at jstarc60. And until next time, may the Force be with you.